Most people think they understand their 401k. You get the company match, pick a few funds and keep contributing. But that is only the first decision. The bigger mistake happens later. You change jobs, the 401k stays behind. And before you know it, your retirement money is scattered across old plans, old fund choices. So the real question is, am I using my 401k in the right order? In this video, I'll walk through 3 decisions most people miss. When to use the 401k, when to consider Roth IRA, and what do you do with your old 401ks when you change jobs. And finally, a bonus part, why I personally prefer investing in simple index funds like the S&P 500 and the total stock market. And you should do that too. Let's begin. Here's the scene I see over and over. Someone in their 30s or 40s, a couple of job changes behind them. And somewhere out there, an old 401k they haven't touched in years, still sitting in whatever fund it happened to default into. Now think about something else. You are just checking out of your hotel after a vacation and you get a surprise $300 resort fee on checkout day. How does that make you feel? You remember it, you tell people about it. But here's the problem. The mistake sitting in that old 401k is worse, much worse. And you'll probably never feel a thing. Let's say you invest $1,000 a month for 30 years in a decent mutual fund. You get about 10% average return. And that over the long term is nearly $2 million. Now instead of that, it was in an old 401k, you forget about it, and the returns are about 8%. The difference is more than $500,000, just 2%. And that's the price that you pay for neglecting your old 401ks. So the first thing I would say is just connect with your old employer's HR, get your 401ks, move them all into Vanguard's IRA. I would recommend putting it into the S&P 500 index fund. Why? Check out my video for that. But the story is not over. Old account handled. Good job. Now the one that is still coming out of your paycheck. I hope you're contributing to your 401k. And that's the first rule, non-negotiable. Get the full match. Most of the employers give about 4% to 6% match, which is free money. Remember that 4% is money that keeps on compounding every single year, and that too for decades. Here's what it actually looks like in numbers. Your income $100,000, you have a 4% match, which means the employer is giving you $4,000 a year to invest. And that over 30 years with a conservative 10% average return, nearly $500,000 getting there. Now that's the retirement account someone builds just from the match. Money they never even feel leaving their pocket. And flip it. Someone who keeps the 4% contribution because, well, I need the money now, is walking away from nearly $500,000, and that too for what? $11 a day. Yes, it's just $11 a day. Just do the math. I mean, most of the people don't even think about this much amount, right? Like a coffee, a bite, a lunch delivery, some app subscriptions, $11 a day and $500,000. There is no math here. There's nothing to think about. Just do it. But don't forget about the taxes. See, traditional 401k, money grows tax deferred. You pay later at retirement, whatever your tax bracket is then. Now, most people know that part, right? What most people don't feel the weight of is what later actually costs. Say, instead of putting extra money into your 401k after the match, you put it into Roth IRA. Or if your company has it, 401k Roth. $500 a month, about $6,000 a year for 30 years at the same 10% average rate of return. And you end up with almost $1 million. So every dollar of that towards your retirement is going to be completely tax-free, not taxed at a lower rate, zero. You take it out at retirement and it's yours. Now let's go back to the traditional 401k. And if you put it in there, that $1 million is going to be fully taxable at the time of your retirement. Depending on your bracket, you could end up with a few $1,000s to even up to $300,000 for the IRS. Money that was actually yours that the IRS compounds in your 401k and takes it from you. And all this just for choosing the wrong account. And it gets worse. Let's say you think, I'm not gonna withdraw it. Then when you reach the age of 72, IRS will force you to withdraw a fixed amount using their formula, no matter what. Even if you have an income, you still have to withdraw, and then that money gets added to your income and taxed. The Roth has no such rule. And if you pass it to your kids, they get roughly a decade of it, still growing, still completely tax-free before they are required to touch it. And so here's the order. Number one, you should always company match it. No matter what, that's free money. Number two, check if your company has 401k Roth. That's the best option. Just try to max it out if you can. If you don't have a 401k Roth in your company, you can check it online if you're eligible. Your combined income has to be below a certain amount. You can open a Roth IRA account with any of the brokerages. I personally prefer Vanguard, but it's up to you. And let's say if you're able to max out the Roth IRA, and if you still have extra, you can go back into the traditional 401k. Very simple. 3 accounts, 3 decisions, 1 idea underneath all of it. This was never about which account is the best. It's about the order you fund them in and what that order is quietly worth over 30 years. If you want the simple way to start investing itself and you're struggling with how much amount to do it, you can even start with just $1. And that's what my playlist over here is about. Check it out. Be patient, keep at it, and I'll see you on the other side.